Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's show. I am Li Muyang. Today, we are going to talk about one of the hardest hit parts of China's economy, the building industry. Imagine this. A huge government company that was once in the top 500 companies in China, worth over 100 billion yuan, suddenly sends out a notice telling all 30,000 workers to stay home and wait for half a year. They only get about 1,000 yuan a month for living money, and they even have to pay their own part of social insurance from that small amount. This really happened at the start of 2026. As soon as Beijing Construction Group's standby notice came out, it spread all over the internet. Lots of people saw it and said, the building industry is finished. Even government companies can't hold on. Why is the industry that once helped China's economy grow so fast now falling like dominoes? Don't go away. The numbers and real stories are very shocking. If you also care about China's economy, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the little bell and choose all notifications so you don't miss future shows. Let's start with the main story. Beijing Construction Group. This is not a small company. It belongs completely to the Beijing government. In September 2025, it was still ranked number 217 in China's top 500 companies. Its yearly sales once went over 100 billion yuan. It works in 32 provinces in China and in 28 countries outside China. At its busiest time, it had 30,000 workers. It helped build famous places like the Beijing Olympic Stadiums, the National Grand Theater, and even big projects in other countries under the One Belt One Road plan. Who could guess that such a strong government company would suddenly send out a full standby notice in January 2026? The details in the notice are very sad. The paper clearly says, because the economy is going down and most customers' projects have stopped for a long time, the company's work has completely stopped. From January 6th, 2026 to June 30th, 2026, all workers must go on standby. Before the standby time ends, the company will send another notice. Maybe they'll start work again. Maybe they'll keep the standby longer. Or maybe they will make other plans. The pay is even worse. In the first month, they still get normal salary. From the second month, they only get 70% of Beijing's lowest wage. That is about 1,000 yuan a month. They also have to take out their own part of social insurance from that little money. Think about a worker who has house payments, car payments, and a family to feed. Suddenly, he only has this small amount. How can he live? This is not the only case. From November 2025, many building companies started to explode with problems. Many news reports say more and more building companies are stopping work, putting workers on standby, or closing down. Beijing Construction Group's story is only the tip of the iceberg. It shows the whole industry's big trouble. No new projects, old projects have no money, and even government companies have to tighten their belts. Experts say this wave of standby is really a hidden way to lay off workers. After the standby time ends, many companies will pay the lowest N+1 money to fire people. The workers who get fired will not have enough money to live on. More government and private company standby and layoff stories. From Shanghai to Guangxi, stay-home notices are everywhere. Beijing Construction Group is not the first and will not be the last. As early as September 26, 2025, Shanghai Construction Group's seventh building company sent out document number 11 of 2025, Rules for Workers Staying Home and How to Count Pay. Stay home sounds soft, but it really means workers leave the job, go home, keep the work contract, but only get lowest living money and social insurance. This is a special way companies use when business is bad to save money. The paper says stay-home workers keep their work relationship, but go home and wait. The company only pays 70% to 80% of the lowest wage. This Shanghai government company's action shows that building work in big cities has entered save money mode. Look at Guangxi. In February 2025, a Guangxi government building company sent out document number 13 of 2025, Notice of Full Standby for All Workers. The notice says clearly, because the market is very low and projects have stopped, the company cannot keep running. All workers go on standby. Pay only about 1,000 yuan a month for living, and social insurance is barely kept. Guangxi is in the west of China. Building work there depends a lot on government projects and houses. This notice shows how bad the problem is in that area. Private companies are even worse. On August 26, 2025, Shenzhen Haida Decoration Group put out a late-night notice that it was closing. This well-known decoration company said because business had been hard for a long time and the economy was very bad, it could not pay the stop work money or social insurance anymore. From August 26th, It stopped all stop work pay. Workers had to give back company things and take their own things. Haidot used to be a star company in Shenzhen building decoration. It worked on many high-end projects, but the house market going down cut its money chain. Experts say this closing wave started speeding up in the middle of 2025. In Shenzhen, a top city, more than 30% of building companies have closed. Henan also has big problems. In February 2026, news said a Henan government building group was rotten inside. Unpaid wages, stopped work, and layoffs happen all the time. Many of its smaller companies started standby from the end of 2025. Workers only get lowest wage. Some projects just stopped. All these stories paint the same picture. Building companies have changed from fighting to get projects to fighting to stay alive. Government companies use nice words like stay home or standby in their official papers, but it is really big cuts in workers. Private companies are more direct. When the close notice comes, workers lose jobs right away. Experts say this wave of stop work and layoffs already touches several million people. The building industry uses lots of workers, so when it falls, it will cause big chain problems. Why did the building industry fall so fast? Let's use numbers. Take Guangdong province. It is the strongest economy in China, so its numbers best show the problem. According to Guangdong's government building report, in 2024, the average number of building workers was 4.05 million. By the first half of 2025, it dropped to 2.99 million, a loss of 1.06 million people, down 26%. These 1.06 million are not only regular workers, but also middle and high-level people, like building engineers and designers. Experts guess that across the whole country, building job losses are already over 5 million. Why did jobs drop so fast? New house building started much less. In 2024, new house building area was 214 million square meters. In the first half of 2025, it was only 85.91 million square meters. For the whole year, they guess only 150 million square meters, almost one quarter less. This matches the job drop. No work, so companies can only put people on standby or fire them. The building industry getting smaller also hurts fixed asset investment. Most fixed asset investment is actually building work, factories, roads, bridges. In Guangdong, fixed asset investment speed in 2024 fell 4.5%. In the first three quarters of 2025, it fell another 14%. In Shenzhen, it fell 17.4%. The building trouble cannot be hidden anymore. Across the whole country, fixed asset investment speed in 2025 is guessed to be negative 5% or more. On February 8, 2026, S&P Global said new house sales in China in 2026 may drop 10% to 14%, worse than the 5% to 8% they guessed for the last quarter of 2025. Houses are one quarter of China's whole economy. In just 4 years, yearly sales have fallen by half, and buyers are still not coming back. Experts say China's house market trouble is now in its fifth year and shows no end. Sales, prices, new starts, and finished houses all keep going down. They guess there are 80 million empty houses blocking the market. Many big private house companies cannot pay their debts. Even government companies like Venki are struggling to survive. Why is it so bad? Because the old way of making houses was built on high debt, high borrowing, and fast turning of money. Local governments have huge debts. They cannot sell land. Government building projects cannot pull the economy. The bubble broke. One Chinese economist guesses that 80% of house companies and building companies will leave the market in the next few years. The government already said the old house model is over and they will turn to cheap houses for poor people, better services, and steady prices. But this means they are giving up an industry that is one quarter of GDP and 15% of city jobs. Many big economic problems, weak buying, companies losing hope, less investment, falling prices, all come from this. The money problem is even worse. The Government Money Office said in 2025 the whole country's money income was 21.6 trillion yuan, down 1.7% from 2024. Land sale money was 4.15 trillion yuan, half of the 8.5 trillion peak in 2021, and down almost 15% from last year. It has fallen for 4 years in a row. Officials admit this comes from slow economy growth and the house market trouble. But the real root is that the sell land for money way has reached its end. The sad life of migrant workers, standing in the cold wind looking for work, no money. so they dare not go home. When the building industry falls, the worst hit are the bottom migrant workers. Every year, they look for work on building sites. Now, they are in deep trouble. On February 14th, 2026, news reporters visited job markets in Anhui, Shandong, Henan, Guizhou, and other places. They found many migrant workers who did not earn money this year, so they dare not go back to their villages for New Year. They are still standing in the cold wind waiting for any small job. In Jinan, Shandong, the job market was full of people looking for work. Wang Hao arrived at 4 a.m. and had not found any day job for more than half a month. He said, "This year I did not earn money, so I am not going back. In the village, relatives and friends are many. When I go home, they all need money. If I have money, I can celebrate New Year. If I have no money, what do I celebrate? When I see relatives, I have to give red packets. No money means I look poor. Buying gifts and food all needs money." He sighed, "Ordinary people's lives are hard. Where are the village leaders or party secretaries here? Only a very few people are doing well." In Guiyang, Zhang Wen and many others worked hard all year, but earned nothing. They eat only one pack of instant noodles a day and do not want to go home. There are only a few days until New Year, but everyone is still here looking for work. Many people have not found any. He said it is not that they are lazy. Society has forced them into this. In Henan, a man over 50 named Ming went home, but he has very little money and no happy New Year feeling. Many people cannot buy New Year things. "I have not even thought about New Year yet. My mood is bad. This year working was different. I could not find steady jobs. I worked 10 days here, 10 or 15 days there. When I finally found work, it ended quickly." He talked about his friends. Some are still waiting at building sites for unpaid money. Some have nowhere to stay because work stopped and they are drifting outside. Some cried when they went home. These stories show the migrant workers' despair. When building work stops, they lose their rice bowl and often do not get paid. Experts say China has over 200 million migrant workers. Building work is a big part. This wave of job loss will make social problems much bigger. The building industry falling is not a single event. It is a small picture of China's big structural economic crisis. China's economy is like the house companies, hiding the death and not holding a funeral. Even though every industry is in trouble, the government still says GDP grew 5% in 2025. But no matter how much they cover it, when it touches so many people's lives, the truth always shows. The house bubble broke. Government building companies put all workers on standby. Migrant workers stand in the cold wind looking for any job. These real stories tell us the whole country's economy is in a never-before-seen hard time. Friends inside China, please keep a clear head. Do not be fooled by fake pictures. Only then can you really see the situation and protect yourself and your family in this big economic downwave. Friends, what do you think? Welcome to leave comments and discuss. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.